Yo guys, it's your homie Xeno Pain. I'd like to welcome y'all to another The First Descendant video. In today's video, we're going to be going over a Viessa build. I am using a Ultimate Viessa red mod, but I will go over another red mod that you can use for regular Viessa if you guys don't have the Ultimate version for her. And then also, as always, the solo hard mode boss battle will be towards the end of the video, and it's a 3-minute run, solo Pyromancer. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and bounce into the video. All right, first up, we do have the red mod that I use. It's called Absolute Zero, and it's for Ultimate Viessa exclusive only. The thing that makes Absolute Zero really cracked is it makes every single one of her moves singular, which means instead of running Technician, I can run Focus on Singular mod with the Chill Master mod, which just gives us straight up dumb damage. I mean, if you're looking at Cold Snap, we have a skill power multiplier 1182. We have a 2000 burst damage skill power modifier for her ultimate. And then for her Frost Road, we have a 299.9% skill power modifier, along with her one doing 1047.9% skill power modifier. So big damage if you guys are running on Ultimate Viessa. It works, it's crazy. Next up, we do have Hypothermia red mod, which can be used for Ultimate Viessa and Viessa as well. This is a really fun build, does really dumb damage, but the thing is, all her skills turn into fusion, except for her ultimate, so it's kind of a little harder to build towards her ultimate. You have to build around it, whilst on Absolute Zero, you really don't have to, but you're still doing amazing damage. But the thing about Hypothermia is that it does not work with the Polar Knight component set because it does not activate Frostbite. So that's the one downside of it. If you guys are going to be doing Polar Knight, I would only recommend 2 Polar Knight and then maybe 2 Slayer or Annihilation. So you want to run 2 and 2 for the chill power from the Polar, and then the 2 skill duration plus 5.7% from the Annihilation power. And then if you want to run Slayer for the general rounds capacity plus 8% for your weapon. Now next we are using Chill Master because out of Chilled Specialist and Chilled Master did give me the highest damage values. If anybody can tell me in the comment section, I've gone through plenty of Viessa videos wondering why they use Specialist, because in my experimentation in the laboratory, Chill Master has given me the most power out of all that. So let me know down in the comment section below. And then for our second mod, we are using Technician for that skill power modifier. I was running with Hypothermia before I made this video, so I'm going to have to recatalyst this symbol and put it for Focus on Singular for more power, because Absolute Zero turns all her skills into singular, so it makes it a lot easier for her to build a reactor for it. And then also we have increased HP for survivability. We have Spear and Shield for a little bit of tankiness along with a little bit of power boost. We do have skill extension, which gives us that skill duration, and skill duration is king on Viessa. You want as much skill duration as you possibly can without sacrificing power. Then we have skill insight, which gives us that skill critical hit rate plus 115%. Then we run with the front lines, which gives us the skill critical hit damage and hit rate. Then we run Strong Mentality, which gives us a skill cost of negative 15.2%, which offsets MP conversion, which makes our max MP negative 15%. So the less cost our skills cost, the less mana they use, hence counteracting the max MP negative 15%. And then also it does give us that mega cooldown for skills at negative 36.5%. And then we have emergency measures for skill critical hit rate and skill critical hit damage. Now, for those of you who don't know, Viessa has one of the highest crit modifiers out of all the Descendants, and so with this build coming full circle, we have a skill power of 52.5%, a chill skill power of 19%, skill duration of 36.5%, 89.8% defense, a skill power modifier 50.8%, but the big numbers that we really want to focus on is skill critical hit rate at 207.7%, and then skill critical hit damage at 92.3%. We could get that higher, but I had to make everything work around the duration and the skill cost, so that way I can spam my abilities while doing the most amount of damage that this build will allow me to do. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video. We're going to go ahead and jump into the reactors and the components that you could use for this build as well. Now, for those of you who are wanting a chill general rounds singular reactor, for those of you who are running absolute zero, you guys can get that right now at the Moonlit Lake. So make sure you guys head over there and get that reactor. I have not got one yet for the absolute zero, so I'm just SOL, but we do have the one where I was running with Hypothermia. Now, if you guys are running with Hypothermia, you want yourself a fusion reactor with your preferred rounds, either general, impact, or high powered, and depending if it's in rotation or not. But the one I went with while I was using Hypothermia was chill skill power boost ratio and fusion skill power boost ratio. So when you pop Hypothermia on, you do meet the requirements. Boom. So you meet all requirements, get that power boost. But what I saw that was the best for Viessa, whether you're running Hypothermia or absolute zero, is skill critical hit damage and skill cost, just to offset the MP conversion, so that way you can still spam your skills. That's the reactor I recommend for those of you who are either working on Hypothermia or absolute zero. Now let's go ahead and jump into the external components. As I said, polar night components do not work with Hypothermia because they do not cause frostbite. So if you want to cause frostbite, that would either be absolute zero or cold cohesion. That will proc the secondary effect, which is for each frostbite stacked inflicted upon enemies. Firearm critical hit damage plus 1.7%, skill critical hit damage plus 6%, up to 10 stacks, 5-second duration at a 30% chance. The full set of the polar night powers is the way to go for absolute zero. And you also want to get MP recovery in combat, not out of combat. Just you have to wait until you're not hit for 10 seconds for your MP to come back, which is kind of a chore, especially when you're fighting a Colossus that's focusing on you the whole time. So MP recovery in combat, and then also defense. You want defense, defense, defense. So that way you can get even more survivability. As you can see, my max HP is 8,115, while their defense is 11,537. I wish my defense was just a little higher, but we still have that survivability because of her 2. Now, for those of you who don't know, her 2 actually has a shield recovery 10%. That's the way you're going to play Viessa, whether you're playing normal Viessa or ultimate Viessa. You're going to be spamming your 2 a lot of the time to keep your shields up, and that's what's going to keep you alive through most fights in First Ascendant. Next up, we do have our weapons, and for those of you coming from my Freyna video, I'm using the same ones, Perforator and Falling Hope, but I did farm a Python and I did get it to +1. So we do have that, but we switch between all 3 of these weapons, and we still run the expand general magazine, normal impact rounds we're fighting. So that way our impact rounds do convert into general rounds to give us a higher capacity for our bullets so we don't run out. So this is basically, our tamer is a backpack to give our Fallen Hope and our Python more rounds. But we use the Perforator because this does insane damage. For those of you who don't know, this does, on hitting a weak point, inflicts damage to the enemy's shield in proportion to their max shield, and also has a set chance to stun them. Still need to level this up all the way. Just an amazing weapon. So that's why I went ahead and went with the reactor that has Perforator conditioned, or mounting. And then we also have the Fallen Hope, because Fallen Hope was the first weapon I worked up to 504,000 DPS. And if you guys are wondering about the rolls on my Perforator, I have weak point damage, bonus firearm attack versus Colossus, firearm critical hit damage, and firearm attack. Whilst on Fallen Hope, I do have firearm attack, toxic attack, firearm critical hit rate, and firearm critical hit damage. There's no extras into Fallen Hope because the passive is just, it's negligible, you know, just more explosions, you know, a little bit of firearm attack plus 8%. So I haven't really invested extras into the Fallen Hope. But with the Python, I went ahead and invested 1, because that's all I was able to farm at the time. I'm going to get more, try to max that out. But if you guys are wondering about my Python, that's firearm attack, rounds per magazine, toxic attack, and weak point damage. We're going to get that toxic attack to gold once we get enough materials to switch that stat out. That pretty much covers the build. Let me know if you guys have any questions down in that comment section below. I'll try to answer them as best as I can and as fast as I can. If you guys stuck around this far, I appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and jump into the bossing of the video. It's solo Pyromaniac hard. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe. Your homie Zeno Pain out. Peace.
This is the ultimate chip. Prepare yourself. Soft.
Let's go.